Ascension.
Hey, what's up guys? So just a little forewarning before we get into this whole video. There is the creaking sounds. You're probably going to continue to hear that. I'm sitting at a little bit of a further distance than I normally do when I'm recording, so I couldn't really reach my hand all the way. This is literally, look at my hand. I can't touch the camera from where I'm at, so I couldn't do the manual focus without making it blurry. If I walked up a few extra inches to do the manual focus and then I sat back here, I would be blurry. I want you guys to be able to see me clearly, so it's important for me that with this video I just want to show a little bit more of my frame instead of just my head. Sometimes I have one video where I'm literally like this the entire video. I didn't delete it because I said some really important stuff but I want you guys to be able to see all of me. But anyways, with this video I want to talk about why everybody in the world should fast eventually. Everybody should get into fasting, and I'm going to speak from a point of reference of where I've come from and what it's done for me, and why I know that this could be the single most important thing that the human civilization can do collectively. So fasting for me, when I think about the 90-day juice fast that I've done, the 21-day juice fasts that I've done, the 3 to 7 day juice fast that I've done, and the way my mind elevates, I have zero question in my mind that fasting is the single most important thing that people can do. You know, I ate raw for 7 months, as I've said in other videos, completely raw, vegan, plant-based, you know, predominantly fruit-based, but I did have a lot of nuts and seeds in that time, and then I jumped into essentially no-fat, 3-month juice fast. I am a different person today than I was a year and a half ago. Well, a year and, some change. The 28th of this month, the 28th of August, will make a year and a half that I've not consumed a cooked meal, a processed meal. I've had some non-organic food, but for the most part, everything that I've eaten has even been organic, with the exception of the fruits and vegetables that are on the Dirty Dozen list. Those should not be consumed non-organic. We can get into the Dirty Dozen versus the Clean 15 list in a future video. That's a whole nother subject. I'm sure plenty of you don't even know what that even means, but I'm here to educate you. I am a different person from when I first, started eating raw. And I'm not just talking about, physically. I don't have symptoms and I'm not sick anymore. I'm still dealing with, very, very few ailments that I know I need to, continue to dig deeper, and I'm going to get into another juice fast very soon. I don't know how long it's going to be. I'm going to see what I want to do, but I'm going to do, I think I'm going to do a purely grape and lemon juice fast. If you guys want to see me document that, please let me know. I would be more than happy to do that. But when you fast, you start to increase the amount of oxygen in your body. This is science. This is not something that holistic people are just here saying just for the hell of it. You increase the amount of oxygen flow in your blood. Your blood feeds your cells. You even unlock certain blockages to the blood flow to your brain, the oxygen to your brain. Your brain, your pineal gland, your endocrine system are so important in your decision making, your nervous system, the way you function. Your endocrine system controls everything in your body. And when you detoxify, you start to go after those symptoms. You start to really cleanse, heal, and regenerate those symptoms. The brain as a whole takes the longest. It takes longer than any other part of the body to detoxify. It's only been about a year and a half for me, and my brain is at a completely different state. I now know what my purpose is. I did not, get into fasting for that. I did not get into raw veganism and eating clean, organic, whole foods, living foods high in water and fiber, with the intention of, transforming my entire life. But I worked in the entertainment business for 7 years, 7 whole years, trying to change who I was up and trying to act a little bit more this way or a little bit more that way, or depending on who I was. I was a true chameleon, and that part of me, helped me grow, and that'll be something that'll never completely go away, because I can, based on who I am, kind of become very similar to them to make them comfortable. That has to do with my personality type. If you look up my INFJ video, that is my personality type. It's a very uncommon one, and so I have videos where my vibe is completely different. You know what I'm saying? And that's because these are all aspects of me. I'm not being fake and I'm not acting per se. I'm just being myself, and I'm expressing, I'm channeling and expressing how I should, per video. I'm a pretty complicated person, but anyways, I'm getting sidetracked and rambling like I usually do. Fasting unlocks, the oxygen flow to the brain. And when I look at the entire world and how sick humans are compared to any other species, we are supposed to be the most intelligent species on Earth. We're supposed to be the most kind and compassionate species on Earth. We're the most, ascended and intelligent species on Earth. Why are we the most sick? Think about that for a second. Let that sink in. If we're supposed to be the most highly intelligent species, we have all these doctors and these medications and clinics and this and that. Why are we the most sick? What is it that we're doing that is so different than every other species on Earth that is just living to their old age? The only animals that die are the animals that we've domesticated or that we interfere with, like the fish, that are being found with plastic in their system that humans are then digesting, that is causing more lymphatic stagnation in our body, in addition to the heavy metals and the mercury and the aluminum in these oceans. What's the difference? The difference is that we're eating cooked food, and not only are we eating cooked food, but we're eating, food from animals that were pumped with antibiotics to keep them alive. The majority of the antibiotics produced today, I think 50% or even 60% of the antibiotics produced today are fed to the animals that humans then eat. Antibiotics are so high in sulfur and so bad for your gut. You know what I'm saying? That's why when I went on my 90-day juice fast, I started to release a lot of sulfur. I mean, hello. Not only was I on medication when I was younger, but I also was eating animals that were on medication. So it's like medication is inescapable. And then you think about the fact that they're trying to push this coronavirus vaccine onto people. It's a completely different concept of a vaccination. Vaccines before were dangerous, but this is going to take it to a whole nother level. It's going to be a gene editing, vaccine. They're going to start pumping it into the babies when they're born, and we're going to essentially be a genetically modified human. I'm not getting the vaccine, you know what I'm saying? If I die with my head held high. I refuse to do that, even if that means I have to be broke. And I won't, because I have family members that I can work for. I'm blessed with that, and I'll stay home if I have to. But I will not get the vaccine. I will not give in. But fasting, because I've seen how much it's transformed my brain and my mind, and it has made me a truly peaceful person. Yesterday and the day before, I fell asleep feeling, why am I so peaceful? Why do I feel so at peace? Why do I feel like my life is going in the direction of where it needs to go? And I don't really have anxiety right now. Yes, I wasn't going to share this, but yesterday was the last day. I had put my 2 weeks in 2 weeks prior. Working at SiriusXM satellite radio, which is a job that I was in for 6 years, walking A-list celebrities, meeting everybody that I've idolized and looked up to. And I know that my mission on earth is not only to be around celebrities. That part I've already done. God put me in that position because since I was a little kid, my earliest memories were me recording music from the radio on cassette tape, telling my family to shut up so I can get this whole song in. And then I worked in radio because I always wanted to be entertainment. Acting was my first love, and it'll always be something in my heart. But helping people heal and healing the clients that I've been working with has been so much more rewarding. Healing myself has been so much more rewarding, and now my brain is at a state of clarity, of no anxiety. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking the right herbs. I'm taking, the right herbal combinations for my body to work on my endocrine system, to work on my nervous system. Juice fasting amplifies that process. So if everybody can just get on a 90-day juice fast, if everybody can, and that doesn't mean to just jump into that. It took me 7 months to prepare for that 90 days. But if everyone can eat raw living foods for, 2 months, think about all the diseases that would just fade away. All the symptoms that would just fade away. The viruses, the bacteria, the excess junk in the gut. Because I always stress this, it's not about what you're adding into your system. The herbs are great. We need the herbs. The fruit is great, but it's about letting go of what's accumulated in the gut that's causing the fungus and the leaky gut and the tumors that everybody is dealing with. Everybody has a family member that has cancer or a tumor or Alzheimer's. Everyone knows somebody that's sick. That's not normal, because the animals in the wild, in the jungle, they're living till the age that they're supposed to. Humans, our life expectancy, it's not supposed to be normal to make it to 80. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? We're supposed to live to like 115. That's our normal life expectancy with all the knowledge that we have. And all the changes that we can make, but we are a very selfish species. We just didn't quite evolve to that point. I think we did, but the cooked food, now that I'm seeing how much I've transformed and changed since changing to living foods, it really does cloud the brain. And that's the premise of this video. If people can uncloud the brain by bringing in life into their body, eating things that are alive like every other species does, we would be so much more kind, so much more compassionate, so much less stressed, because the disease of the world is really bringing us down. All this dis-ease is bringing us down. You know, it feels like a plague, and then it's just getting worse because the people that are at the top are promoting the McDonald's and pushing it in our face. They bring, you know, the McDonald's burgers and the Burger King burgers. Those are created in laboratories where up to 200 of the world's, you know, best scientists at manipulating us, they figure out, okay, this is what produces the same reaction as cocaine. This is what produces an addicting, you know, a response in the human body. We can add this much chemical into this burger. This cheese, we're gonna, you know, make this essentially indigestible plastic. We're gonna put that on top. This color is what's most attractive. This amount of sugar is the perfect amount of sugar to get the average human addicted. And then we're eating this food, and when we eat it, the same part of our brain lights up as when we have dope. I was gonna say dopamine, but it releases dopamine. You know, like as if we were to do cocaine or heroin or drugs. This is all addiction that the government is not only funding but allowing. Not only for the financial gain, but because there's no money in humans doing what I did. And a lot of people will call it the hero's journey, you know, the journey of saying, I'm going to let go of everything that has brought me down. I'm going to decide to eat raw, living foods. You know, even if it takes a while to fully get there, I'm going to start eating 50% raw. My breakfast every day is going to be a bowl of fruit. I'm going to wait 3 hours before eating anything else because fruit takes... it's a completely different, you know, digestion period than things that just stick to your gut. Think about it like this. If you have oatmeal, take a bowl of oatmeal that you cooked, that you heated up, and then you just leave it on the counter for 30 minutes, you can turn that bowl upside down and the oatmeal doesn't do anything. It doesn't go anywhere. So what do you think it's doing when it's getting into your gut? Do you think that it's all digesting or some of it accumulating there? And what happens after a while, after you keep accumulating and accumulating and accumulating junk after years, especially if that happens with oatmeal, imagine with McDonald's and fast food and pizza, it starts to harden up and it starts to create mucoid plaque, and then we see things like the leaky gut or the malabsorption. People that are skinny and they eat and they eat and they eat and they eat, but they're not gaining any weight. We got to get rid of what's there. The parasites are feeding on it. The parasites are what's bringing the human race down. They're literally hijacking the brain. They are telling us that they need, you know, certain foods to survive, and they can send signals to your brain so that you can eat the food that is detrimental to your body, where you know that you're going to feel guilty after you eat it. You know you're going to feel like crap after you have that half pie of pizza. You know you're going to feel guilty, but why do we do it anyways? Because it's addicting. It's chemically engineered to be addicting because the parasites in our stomach are also craving it. And because this country doesn't give a fuck about your health, quite frankly. This world doesn't care about your health. You have to care about your health, you know? And so it was just important for me to come on and say this to you guys. If everybody in the world went on a fast, went on a 3-month fast, worked their way up to that point, there would be so... The consciousness of the world would be completely different. And I have to believe that we will one day get there, because if not, then what am I doing this for? If I don't believe that, you know, despite everything that I'm seeing going on, that the human race can't be uplifted by fasting, by detoxifying, by getting rid of parasites, getting rid of negative thoughts, by doing the emotional work, the meditation, the yoga, the good therapy, then what's the point of me doing this? What's the point of me making these videos, you know? Even if I touch just a few people, 5 people, 10 people, 1,000 people, 10,000, 100,000, 1,000,000 people, I know that this is part of my journey. I did the entertainment thing. You know what I'm saying? I was exposed to so many different walks of life before that. The predominantly white, you know, walk of life. The mixed walk of life here in New York City. I lived in the suburbs. I was raised partially, you know, in the projects almost. You know, I didn't grow up in the projects, but I spent so many years there with my friends in the Bronx. The gay community, the Hispanic community. I see now why God did what he did in my life, so that I can be able to appeal to so many different types of demographics and people who need to hear this message. And so that's where I am right now. I'm 25 years old. Maybe when I'm 30 it'll change, but I know I'm here to help people, to help persuade people into a cleaner lifestyle so that the brain can unlock, so that oxygen can get there, so we can start the detoxification process of the human race for people who want to take the journey, so that I can write. I'm supposed to be a writer. I'm supposed to write books. That's always been a passion of mine. And then we'll see what happens from there. But I have no doubt that I'm headed in the right direction, and I have raw living foods to thank for that. And my mentors, like my online mentors, like Dan McDonald, people that I just look up to that I haven't spoken to. Lou Corona, who I actually manifested a phone call from. I spoke to Lou Corona on the phone. He's a raw vegan that's been raw for, I don't even know, I think 40 something years now, maybe close to 50 years. He's 60 something, I think, or 70. He's almost 70 years old. I think he's like 68 now. I think his birthday's in August. And It's just crazy what you can manifest. My favorite author, Elizabeth Gilbert, or one of my favorite authors, followed me on Instagram a few days ago, the day after I decided I wanted to be a writer. We are so powerful. We are so powerful as a species. We really do almost have superpowers. But it's clouded. It's clouded with the dead, fiberless food and the negative thoughts and the consumption of not only the negative thoughts and the negative food and the fiberless, dead, high acidic food, but what we're consuming with what we watch. We all deserve to have some fun and watch some reality TV a little bit here and there if we want to, but I don't think most people are ready to take that step and provide themselves with balance. I was watching Handmaid's Tale yesterday. Well, that's not stimulating my freaking brain, you know what I'm saying? But I knew that I deserved to watch that. It's some entertainment. Back in the day, hundreds of thousands of years ago, there were shows, and those shows were just entertaining. You have to be smart enough to be able to say, okay, but now I'm reaching the point of no return. I'm watching too much of this. Once you become, more enlightened and more ascended with your brain, you absolutely have full control over your decisions. And you just want nothing but to help people do the same. So that's what I'm here for. Alright, this video was actually longer than I thought it was going to be. Thank you for being here. If this is your first time here, please feel free to subscribe. I would love for you to subscribe. Press the notification bell so that you can be notified when I upload a new video. Press the thumbs up. It helps me, and it also helps the YouTube algorithm. It helps YouTube know that you and other people want to see more videos about the upliftment of humanity and detoxification. And so that when you go to your homepage on YouTube, you can see things that are of substance and not just drama and the president, So I'm going to leave you guys with that. If you want to book an appointment with me and start getting your health back, ascensionliving.co. I'll put that description down below. And yeah, that's just about everything that I wanted to say. I think I might document that grape and lemon fast that I do. And if you guys have any other videos you want to see from me, I get a lot of emails on my website. Go to my website, go to the contact page, and let me know what you want to hear. You can tell me in depth what your problem is, and maybe I'll make a response on how to heal that. Or how you can start healing that. Or you can leave a comment down below. Whatever works for you. Alright guys, peace, love, and blessings.